When you retire, your paycheck disappears, but your bills don't. So the question is, how do you increase your income without paying more in taxes? That's exactly what we're going to cover in today's video. Hey everybody, I'm Daniel Ronberg, and I'm committed to helping people enter retirement with an abundance mindset. When working, you have a paycheck that comes in every couple weeks, and that paycheck covers your expenses. But when you retire, your paycheck goes away, and it can feel overwhelming to figure out where your next income check is going to come from. Not only that, but if you pull money from the wrong place at the wrong time, it could cause you to overpay taxes unnecessarily. In today's video, we're going to talk about where to take your income from first so you can maximize your income and pay as little tax as possible. Once you retire, it's up to you to create your own paycheck. Your salary is gone, and you have to decide where your income is going to come from next. In retirement, it's often not just one paycheck. It's a series of paychecks coming from your savings, your Social Security, and pension. So the real question is, how do we combine these series of many paychecks to replace the one paycheck you had while you're working so you can still live the lifestyle you want? Step one is to identify your fixed income sources. Before worrying about what sources of savings to pull from, IRAs, 401ks, Roth IRAs, or brokerage accounts, start with your fixed income sources. This can include Social Security, pensions, rental income, and annuities. Essentially any source of income that doesn't require you to pull from your portfolio. Why start there? Because this income serves as a foundation. It's simply there without having to create it by investing or taking withdrawals. It's the base of your retirement income. Once you know your fixed income sources, you can determine how much of your desired income they will cover, and then how much you'll need to take from your portfolio to supplement. So that leads me to step number 2, which is determine the shortfall. After you've identified your fixed income sources, next you need to calculate the shortfall between what you need for income every month and what those fixed income sources provide. So for example, let's say you want to spend $100,000 a year in retirement after taxes. Between you and your spouse, you'll receive about $45,000 from Social Security. That means that the remaining $55,000 has to come from your portfolio if you have no other sources of fixed income. And this is where step number 3 comes into handy, which is understanding your type of accounts. Generally, there are 3 main categories. Category number 1 is taxable accounts. These can be single, joint, trust accounts. These are outside of a retirement plan. Category number 2 is tax-deferred accounts. Now, these are going to be your traditional 401ks, IRAs, SEPs. These are going to be things that you get a tax deduction to contribute to. They grow tax-deferred, and they're fully taxable upon withdrawal. Category number 3 is going to be your tax-free accounts. These are going to be your Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, and life insurance, where withdrawals or loans will not be taxable upon withdrawal because you've already paid taxes up front. A common approach people take is to spend their taxable accounts first, their tax-deferred accounts next, and then their tax-free accounts last. The idea is to let your tax-deferred and tax-free accounts grow as long as possible, since they offer potentially valuable tax advantage utilization of those accounts. While that's a reasonable starting point, it doesn't always minimize your tax liability over your retirement. This is why you need step number 4, which is to be strategic about your taxes. Instead of following a simple order, let's look at a tax-driven approach towards withdrawals. Suppose your pension and Social Security provide $60,000 of taxable income for you, and you need another $40,000 to pull from savings. If you pull the full amount from a traditional IRA, your taxable income jumps up to $100,000. That pushes part of your income into a higher tax bracket from 12 to 22%. Instead, you could take $20,000 from your traditional IRA, essentially filling up the rest of your 12% bracket, and you could take the additional $20,000 from a tax-free or after-tax account like your Roth IRA or brokerage account. This way you stay within the 12% tax bracket and avoid paying any unnecessary higher tax. This example shows that where you pull your funds from affects your taxes more than just the actual investments you have. Managing your withdrawals wisely can help you keep your tax liability low throughout retirement. We're going to take it up a notch with step 5, which is let your accounts work efficiently. Let your Roth IRAs grow as long as possible, since the growth will never be taxed. Therefore, the longer you let those accounts compound, the more powerful the tax-free benefit becomes. Also, be aware of required minimum distributions, or RMDs. These start at age 73 or later, depending on when you're born, and they require you to take withdrawals from your pre-tax accounts. If you rely too heavily on tax-free accounts early in your retirement and neglect to take withdrawals from your IRAs, those IRAs can compound and grow very large, forcing you to take bigger RMDs and pushing you into a higher tax bracket later in retirement. Sometimes it makes sense to take withdrawals or convert those IRAs earlier to manage balances and smooth out taxes in retirement. Step number 6 is watch out for Social Security taxes and Medicare surcharges. Up to 85% of your Social Security benefit can be taxable depending on your provisional income, which is made up of half of your Social Security income and a few other factors. If most of your income comes from Roth or mostly tax-free sources, you could pay 0 income tax on your Social Security. Also, you want to watch out for IRMAA surcharges. These are additional Medicare premiums for higher earning individuals in retirement. For example, if your adjusted gross income reaches certain levels, your Medicare Part B and Part D premiums will increase. Those thresholds depend on if you're a single or married joint filer. Where you pull your income from can affect how those surcharges trigger, so be mindful of your income sources. And finally, step number 7 is to coordinate with other tax strategies. Your withdrawal strategy affects other opportunities such as Roth conversions, moving money from traditional IRAs to Roth to avoid future taxes or RMDs down the road, and tax harvesting your investments, which is selling investments in a low tax rate so you can pay 0 capital gains tax. By coordinating these 2 strategies, you can reduce your overall tax bill and make your money last longer. So to summarize, you want to identify your fixed income sources. This is Social Security, pensions, and annuities. You want to determine your shortfall from what those income sources will provide and what you need to maintain your lifestyle expenses. You want to understand your types of accounts, your taxable, tax-deferred, and tax-free accounts. You want to manage your withdrawals effectively to stay in lower tax brackets. And finally, you want to keep an eye on how withdrawals are going to impact Social Security tax, Medicare surcharges, and other long-term strategies. I'm Daniel Ronberg. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more retirement insights. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, please share this video with them. And visit nationsfirstfin.com to see how we help our clients prepare for retirement. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this video and you want more information about retirement, be sure to check out my new book, Buy Back Your Life, How to Stop Worrying About Money and Start Living in Retirement. If you want a copy of this book absolutely for free, call my office with this phone number below. Talk to the girls at the front desk. You don't have to provide any information. We just need your name and address and they'll mail you out your copy today.